Welcome back to Sorry Roleplay. This is episode 6 of the Great Capital Bake Off. I'm James, I'll be playing Dragon Ball Sorcerer, Ibethane.
I'm Connor, I'll be playing Tommy the Human Rogue.
I'm only playing 90.
That was not words.
I can't look because I'm doing it. I'm Rowan, I'll be playing 19th Paladin.
I'm Henry, Urium.
Previously. So after our victory over Theodore, told you he was no match to the heroes of River's Edge, we're heading back up to the room to get going with our pre-drinks before the Emperor's birthday bash. We took full advantage of the mystery drinks cupboard, and now I'm resistant to fire for a bit. However, apparently I won't come out too well if Ibethane firebolts me. Disappointing. Would have been a cool party trick. Ibethane had this wild, multicoloured drink with sparkles and glitter, and damn, it was just so Ibethane. Anyway, I think he can float now. Nine didn't really tell us much about her drink, but she did seem to be much nicer to us for just a little bit. We even convinced Gregor to drink, and double damn, he's a ginger stud now. After these antics, we travelled to the Great Banquet and pretty much got front row seats. There's a lot of weird and wonderful beings here, and I really hope the folks are too distracted to notice me making a move on stealing some of this shiny cutlery. Anyway, finally, a big glowy man appeared, who I presume is this all-powerful Emperor chap. So I mean, that was alright, but honestly, I'm so much more excited for my grung salad.
Some time passes, and you basically gorge yourself on fantastic food, fantastic drink. Nice. And it comes to a point where nobody really seems to be eating, and a couple people further down the table get up and kind of start mingling. And
Scary.
Must be awkward if we're all so silent.
No, the straight after you sat back down, the silence spell was released, and you could begin to talk again. So you're mostly making.
It would have been like. Just everyone eating, like looking around, like.
And that's when we killed them all. Oh, what?
But as you sat back down, it's the kind of thing where the silence slowly lifts and it begins to become extremely loud in there again, and people start making jokes and merriment again. Some of the guests, and as you as all of you sit back down straight away, the Dragonborn guest all turned to you, was like, "That was pretty cool. He's a cool guy. I like it. We get to go talk to him later.
Really?
That's really cool."
Gregor,
Yes.
who's the glowy fuck?
I'm not gonna answer that. That doesn't deserve an answer. Good God.
Okay. Fine.
Take a guess.
Elton John.
Oh, this is Felvish.
Oh, this is Felvis Prestidigitationally.
Felvis Prestidigitationally.
Actually, Felvis Prestidigitationally is down the other end of the hall.
I get up.
If this is towards the end when people start interacting, yeah, sure, you can get up. And he was just like, you may be able to find him. There are thousands of people here, so you might not be able to.
Is there a dance floor?
No.
Can we make one?
Not currently.
Not. Ooh. Magic dancing be happening.
But yeah,
I could do the sick moonwalk where I'm floating on top of the fucking ground.
The Dragonborn envoys that are with you, as people start to get up, they kind of look at you and they're like, "It has been lovely having dinner with you, but we should probably go mingle, talk to people. There are many important people here, and that's kind of why it's been sent here. So see you tonight, probably. Maybe later. Grab another drink. I think there's a bar somewhere around here. All the weird wooden things will probably get you a drink. I don't know if they follow us, but sure.
Oh, that's horrifying.
So we will see you guys later, and they will kind of give you like a small salute and disperse into the crowds. The crowds starting to become actually quite thick now. Everybody's kind of getting up and mingling and talking to different people with drinks in their hands, and just polite conversation between everybody.
Oh, this is horrible.
That's boring.
What? Why is it hard?
No.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I think we definitely need to start a dance. We need to find Felvis Prestidigitationally first.
Yes, and his friend Rick roll for intimidation. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. Rick
Roll
roll.
for
Rick roll is
persuasion?
good. Roll is good. Roll for performance or
Roll for persuasion.
What's the joke?
Rick roll
He's
initiative.
trying to make a Rick Astley joke, and
Yeah,
it's
we're gonna give
really
you
not
No.
working.
Right.
Right.
We're gonna roll a one and fail the trick.
No, it's like, no. The better joke is something along the lines of like, you know, Elvis Presley playing rock and roll music.
Oh, that's
Rock
not
and
bad.
roll, something, but yeah. There's the punchline without the joke.
Yeah.
Super Thin finds that pretty fucking funny.
So, yeah, out of character, just go mingle. I made many NPCs for this. So.
Can we go talk?
Oh,
Can I go talk to
fuck.
the
I go and see
older
Betty.
gauntlet people?
Huh?
I go and see Betty.
Right, let's take it in turns. Tell me you can go first.
Cool.
We're splitting the party, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Agreed.
tell us some cool people that are about.
So you stand up, and as you watch the Dragonborn disperse into the crowd, and you kind of think, oh, I should probably go have a look around, meet people. I don't really. There's probably you can actually see there are very many interesting people around. You the first person that probably catches Tholme's eye would be
Not
a.
Selenia. If it's Selenia, I'm fucking. fucking bolting.
Those Dragonborn are so getting laid, by the way. We're coming back.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
We need
You-
to get Gregor pulled tonight. This is his night.
You,
fucking him.
You're
So-
fucking
Is
him.
Gregor married?
You don't know he's disappeared. You haven't looked at his hand to see
Not
if there's.
tonight.
Haven't looked at his ring.
Show me your hand.
So Tholme looks around, and the first person that catches his eye is sort of like an early middle-aged half elf. But it's difficult. But for half elves, an early middle-aged half elf looks pretty much the same as a mid-20s half elf. The only reason you can tell is a slight crow's feet at the corner of the eyes, but it's a distinguished look. She has very, very long, curled, dark black hair, and she looks at you, and she has very golden eyes. And it's just as you're kind of wandering around, you just manage to catch each other's eye, and she smiles and begins to walk over towards you.
Oh, Tholme's getting pulled.
He's in. He's in.
I push
She's-
Tholme forwards and go fuck her.
She's just a little bit shorter than you. You guys aren't together. You've all been separated.
Damn it.
She walks over. She's like, "Well, who might you be? I've never seen you around the palace before."
Oh, I am one of the heroes of River's Edge.
Of River's Edge, you say? I went there as a girl.
Ah, did you? It's a bit different now, I'm afraid.
I
Being
can
on fire.
I can imagine. Do tell me your story.
Well, you see, I'm amazed you haven't heard. It was a whole big thing. There was. So, have you heard of Olmsford?
I can't say I have. No.
Yeah, don't. You probably used to be nice.
Don't
Very
Google
well.
it.
Yeah, don't go there now.
Very well.
it's-
I am an explorer, so I may have, but I'll take your word for it.
So we went to a place called Olmsford. We were going with a representative from the Order of the Gauntlet. And because there were some disappearances of some people.
Wow, that's incredibly
Fucking
exciting.
Name drop right there.
So yeah, David sent.
So was that a night out with Morgan Freeman?
um,
So I was out for lunch with Bruce Willis. That's me doing
It reminds me
Tuesday.
of you guys seen Community, where Pierce is always just like fucked her for Kit in in an airplane bathroom constantly. It's just like Order of the Gauntlet.
Have you met the Order of the
Have you met the Order of the Gauntlet?
So was that a night out with the Order of the
So
Gauntlet?
she's just like, did you ever find out what was causing these disappearances?
yes, we actually ended up fighting these Yuan Ti, which were seem to be.
I've encountered Yuan Ti myself. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, they seem to be behind us, and we had to go down into the Underdark to find out
Wow.
more about them. There's a
It's-
temple under there.
Another name
And
drop.
I know, and then we and me and my friend Ibethane died, and then we undied, and then we found this big temple, and there was a guy without a dick, and then we had a sleep when we probably shouldn't have, and then we missed the important story point, and then we thought for about 2 weeks out of the game about how to get out of this temple, and then eventually a rock gnome came and solved our puzzle for us, and then we came out, and then River's Edge got attacked by a Snydra.
Wow,
You know the
Snydra,
ancient Snydras.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they've been seen for thousands of years.
They haven't. No.
But yes, so we found out where that was coming from, and then we defeated it, and then the guy without a dick, our pal Craig the dragon bearer, dragon head, dragon.
The exact title doesn't really matter.
Ate him.
Wow, that is one hell of a story, I must say.
And then what happened?
I mean, I myself am,
But then she's like, hello?
I myself am very well travelled. I work mostly for contract work for the Empire, expanding into various different islands, doing trade. Even in my immense travels, I've never made it all the way down to the Underdark. In fact, I do my best to avoid it. I'm impressed you managed to come back.
Ish.
True.
I mean,
True, you did say that, but that's I'm very, very impressed, and it's quite a funny story. And she kind of reaches out and touches your arm as she says that, and like giggles to herself. She's just like, you said you have contact with the Order of the Gauntlet. I would love if you could perhaps introduce me. And as she says that, she like kind of squeezes your arm slightly, and flips her hair.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely introduce you to my friend Davith.
Very well. And as that happens, it's like we should probably go find him now then, and she'll take you by the arm and take you off through the crowd. And as we do that, we see as they go off screen, we see through the crowd through to Ibathane. What sort of place are you looking at? What sort of person are you looking around
Well,
for?
first off, I pick up one of the homunculi, like by the scruff of the neck, in the side, lift it up to my face and go, "What is name?"
271.
I shall call you Jeffrey. Right.
This one is called Jeffrey now.
Yes, Jeffrey. Right. Whenever you see that I have lack of drink in hand, you bring me the vodka of some Dragonborn origin. I think it's very good.
Very well. Is this where would I find this? We do
In-
not keep Dragonborn vodka in our stores.
Whatever's the strongest booze you have, then.
Very well,
Just
sir.
go back up to the room.
And then there's man dressed like me, handsome, roguish-looking fellow.
Yes,
Yes, send one of your other ones. We'll call him Jeffrey 2.
Jeffrey too.
Jeffrey 2.
He reaches a hand out and grabs another homunculus and is like,
You are Jeffrey too now.
Jeffrey 2, right? Are you listening? You missed the first, but he'll tell you later.
Yes,
tell him
I am
later,
listening.
Jeffrey. Okay. Jeffrey, tell Jeffrey 2 the bit that we did this then, and then the same for him.
they both look at you. It's like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I put them down.
you put them down and begin to walk off, and the two of them just look at each other and like,
Did you understand a word of that? I did not. Should we just go? Yes, we have
No,
other people to
booze!
serve.
and the two of them like flutter off into the crowd separately. But as you're walking around, you run into.
I want booze
I
every
wish
time
you'd
my
have
hand
asked
is
her
empty.
Probably should have asked her name.
Oh yeah, it's polite.
I'm never good at that.
I make up people's names, so that's ruder.
What's your name? No, it's not.
You and
It's
me.
not. You know it's not.
Two different steps. This is why Tholme gets on with Ibathane so well. He keeps forgetting to ask people's name, and Ibathane makes them up for him. So he's like, "Oh, okay, now I know their name."
So as Ibathane's wandering around, and as he drops down those two homunculi and they flutter off into the distance, he kind of stands there holding his drink, looking around. When a elven man, he looks maybe 30, and he walks over towards you, and he's a fairly close cropped, like sides shaved hair, longish hair on top, golden hair, elven man with particularly pointy ears. Like his ears are particularly long, even for an elf. Very distinguished features. Walks over. He's wearing some bright purple robes, and he's wearing a feathered cap. Which almost like a fez, which sits on the corner of his back corner of his head, with a very, very long silver thread coming down onto one shoulder.
Fabulous.
You know what's over? And he's like, I must say, my man, I've never seen a dragonborn before in the capital city, and now there are four of you. Do tell me your name. I saw your small interaction with the homunculi there, and I must say, you look like a man that does enjoy his drink, and he lifts his up and clinks it towards yours.
Thank you very much.
Well, as I said, what is your name?
I am Ibathane, no name.
Wow.
What is your name?
My name is Eldred Dumont.
Eldred
Eldred
Dumont.
Dumont. Eldred Dumont. It's a strong elven name.
That is a good name.
Yeah, as I said, it is a strong elven name.
Because it begins with an E.
You know, partially yes. E for many reasons is a very, very good letter.
Yeah, I'm Dragonborn, that's why my name begins with a D.
Wow. It's such a strange spelling of Ibathane, but I must say I love it.
It's silent.
Ah,
That
I
is
do,
not.
I do love different cultures. I one day hope to travel to a different culture.
Have you never been to a different culture?
I mean, I'm my job that I do, my calling, may I say, is one of the performing arts. I myself am I'm an actor.
Oh!
I do perform in some of the greatest performing places. Theaters is the word. Sorry, I do forget when I drink. Also,
You
Henry
seem
does.
like a fun dude.
I perform in some of the greatest theaters in the empire. Mostly the one that I own in the south side of the city.
You own a theater?
I do.
Is it the big one?
He's pretty big.
That's pretty good.
It's like 2,000 seats.
What the fuck?
Mostly just me. I do great monologues
Do you know, I thought
to sold out stadiums of that I own.
you own the people?
No, that was banned.
Oh. Why?
I don't know.
This seems no fun.
That's why we have the
I own a small boy, you see.
I
own a
a
small-
boy called Craig.
Craig. He's a
Where are you,
shit-
Craig?
Craig's a shit name.
He's spelt weird.
Oh, even better. And the two of you just kind of drunkenly ramble to each other for quite a while. He at one point just kind of pulls a drink from seemingly nowhere and tops up yours with some sort of liquid. Is good whiskey. I made it myself.
Oh, very good. Okay.
It makes you hiccup. It's spicy.
I have had a drink that makes me float.
What? And he looks at your feet and he's like, wow, that's I want that drink.
But the magic, but I'm not that magic.
I myself am magic.
You're
My
magic?
performance is magic. And
Oh.
he does like a flourish with his hat and he's like, I'm the greatest actor.
So the voice is a little bit Jack Sparrow.
That's 100% what I'm going for.
It's a funny joke.
You know, I also do comedy. So you should come to my comedy nights.
Oh,
I own a comedy club that I perform in.
you should do it standing up.
You know, until recently I've been doing a sitting down.
That's
But
what you should call it.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Standing up
Comedy. Comedy whilst standing up. That is, my friend, you are incredible.
I'm a dragonborn.
Oh shit, you are. Why are you a Why are you a dragonborn?
I don't know. Someone fucked the dragon.
Is that a dragonborn like tieflings?
What's a tiefling?
We'll leave it at that. As Ibathane asks the question of what's a tiefling, we see Nine have a shiver go down her spine.
Yeah, like
And
Pissed
as
off for some reason.
I just twitches like that.
and what sort of person would Nine be looking for? Do you have any particular?
And
Not a
how
person.
How worried is she that she's lost sight of everything?
I'm just very concerned. So, not looking for a person. I'm looking for a thing.
Okay, what thing are you looking for?
The bar. Where is
Very well.
There's my girl.
You ignore a number of people that try to talk to you.
Yes!
Um,
Hello! Fuck off! Booze!
you manage to do it with a little bit more tact than that.
Close enough, though, basically. They're trying to talk to me, I'm like, huh?
Hand in face.
I mean, I'm pretty charismatic, so I'm sure I'll deal with it.
You deal with it quite well. A number of people try to make small talk. You're like, I'm very sorry, official order business, and you flourish out like a card that you have and put it over your chest that has the order symbol on it.
This is the only reason why 9 sticks around with these guys. Gets around of random shit.
And then, but yeah, you walk up and down the aisles for a while, and eventually you come across someone that looks to be like they are working, and you go up to them. You're like, you walk up to them.
Are they at the bar?
No, but you could potentially ask.
Okay.
So you walk up to them.
Excuse me, can you tell me where I get a drink or?
I mean, you may request one from one of the many servants or homunculi or even the golems. However, are you looking specifically for a bar?
Yeah.
Very well. If you head to the bottom of the third table, there is one set up halfway along. It has a cutout from the middle, and there are a number of servers there. You may go get a drink there. It will be quite busy. However, it's worth it. You can request different kinds of cocktails while you're there.
Oh, okay. So, do they do Dragonborn vodka? Would you happen to know?
I'm afraid we generally don't keep that in stock. It's a bit of a speciality, and we've only recently. Well, we don't. You may be aware we have a number of Dragonborn guests here tonight. We are once again opening trade negotiations with the Dragonborn kingdoms. But we do have a number of other selections. We can basically make you most drinks, many enchanted drinks as well, if that's what you would request. However, the enchantments come out different every time, so you never quite know what you're going to get. But that is my personal favorite for my days off. So I do recommend those.
Okay. Brilliant.
Is there anything else I may help you with?
No.
Perfect.
To the
Have a good
bar.
night. It is enjoy.
Thank you. Please leave me alone.
He like bows 3 or 4 times as you're leaving, and then just
Please
like
don't do
fucking
that.
bolts into. But yeah, he's pointed you towards the bar, and you head down one of the tables, and you probably actually would have noticed that there was a hole. There are holes spaced in some of the tables.
Okay.
But as I said, this room's huge. So in you're walking up and down a little bit, you haven't got to one of them yet, but the closest one you get to is this, and it is literally like the 20-foot wide table has sort of like a square built cut out of it, and in the middle of the area has appeared like a plinth, and there are a number of different servants standing around on the inside, going up to different guests at the edges of it, saying, "What sort of drink would you like?"
There's a fucking bar in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
I've been told to request one of your enchanted drinks.
Perfect.
Surprise me.
Very well. Do you have a preference of base?
That is fucking brave, man.
Do you have a preference of base, or should we just go for anything? Sorry, I'll do a voice. Do you have a preference of base, or should we just go for?
Is this from a
anything?
homunculus? Hello.
No, it's from a large half orc bartender.
I preferred it when it was a homunculus.
He's like, I am considered the most handsome of my people.
I am the most handsome orc in the land.
No, just surprise me.
Very well.
Somebody to love me. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
That's the end of the banquet.
Yep.
Fuck.
After a minute or two, you actually see him go over to the bar, and he grabs a number of different drinks, and he starts spinning them, and he starts doing different flares and showing off for the crowd, very well. And at one point, he throws a bottle up in the air, and he has this cup, and he's been slowly mixing things into this bottle, and the actual bottle itself doesn't look quite normal. And in midair, as it begins to fall, this large goblet he has in his hand smashes the bottle with it, and the entire bottle, like splinters into it itself, brings it back down, and then throws a small bit of dust, golden dust, from his hand at it, and it immediately flares up in a bright blue flame, blows it out, and brings it over towards you. It's like
cool.
That is very cool.
I call this the Ghislaine special. I myself am Ghislaine. It's one of my own invention, and you'll pass it over. The drink itself has various different colours going through it. But one thing you do notice is there's a very fine glitter swirling through it all. And he says to you, he's like, "Do not worry about the bottle itself. It was an enchanted sugar glass bottle. It upon smashing becomes just plain sugar. So you'll find it very sweet. But I hope that the various different flavors, each sip should be a different flavor.
Okay.
And yeah, as you sip it, each time you sip, it's a slightly different flavor that slowly changes between different ones that you like.
Bloody hell, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
You probably just stand by the bar slowly sipping, and you think, God, this is awesome. And it's like, oh, this guy actually invented this drink, and I don't know what kind of magical powers he has, but to be able to do something like this with almost nothing is really cool. So please get inspiration.
Oh,
Right?
As you're inspired by this man's ingenuity.
Oh, is this what the drink gives you?
Yeah, gives you
that's-
inspiration.
Jesus.
Hey! Shamao! Sick.
High five for having inspiration.
Don't
Sorry,
want,
Connor.
don't want to be too loud on the mic.
So yeah, as you stand there sipping away your drink, a very, very large female woman, a Goliath, you can tell. She's approaching 8 foot tall, walks over towards you. Her outfit itself is like, it's clearly a Fabian creation as well, and it's
He has
bloody
done this
everybody goes to
party.
Yeah, he's catered for the whole party, and it reminds you almost of clockwork. There's at the joints. The fabric itself has been embroidered so that as she moves her arms, it looks like there are cogs like moving between each other.
That's really cool.
And she walks over to you. She's like, "Everybody at this party is so talkative, and I just want a drink, honestly." And I can tell
This is my kind of gal.
from a mile away, I can tell we're a bit of a kindred spirit here. So, what are you drinking? I'll order the same.
And then you just go, well, actually, you're fucking talking.
You're ruining
Get your
that
fucking
fun.
drink and fuck off.
Well, I can wholeheartedly recommend the Gillian special.
Very well. That's what I'll order. And she turns to the bartender, and Ghislaine, having heard you say this, walks over and she's like, "One, ma'am, one Ghislaine special coming up." Goes away, does the same thing. And she just kind of turns around, puts both of her elbows back on the bar, and like leans on it. Doesn't say anything. Just kind of leans there.
Turn around and sort of survey. See, do I see any interesting scenes? Any
Yeah.
fights that
As
I'm
you're kind
enjoying, or-
of standing there,
Start.
as you're kind of standing there, the large Goliath lady will just kind of point over towards 2 very drunk men getting into an argument over nothing. It's just like pointing out various funny people, like funny things going on, and she'll say like, "I do like people watching."
This is it's a pretty nice party. There's been pretty good food, pretty good drink, but can't say it's been one of the more exciting things I've been to. It's been a bit of a dull affair. Your man's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
Not
It's
much happening.
it's a good party. The homunculi creep me out, but they do a good job.
yeah. You had far to travel, I guess.
Yeah, pretty far. Mostly work up in the mountains up north in some of the dwarven strongholds. I'm a bit of a tinkerer.
Oh, nice.
I like to build machines and those kind of things. Prefer the company of machines to people in general.
I prefer the company of weapons a lot of the time, so I can
Can
appreciate
understand. Yeah.
Are we witnessing the moment 9 became a lesbian?
it. Dude, she's like double my size. Is there no way this is gonna work?
Yeah. Made a few weapons in my time. Yeah. Got a crossbow made myself. I like it a lot. But you seem more like the sword kind of gal, which I can respect. But yeah, if I have to go close, I'll go with a big hammer.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good-
And she'll like take a sip of her drink,
this is quality role
and
play.
she'll point over at another group of funny people. It's just like, huh, that's funny.
I'm not
Anyway,
gonna lie, I'm fully fucking invested.
So,
she looks back at you and she's like, right, I'm gonna head off. I'm supposed to be with a bunch of people, so I'll go find my hopefully. Have you seen a group of dwarves with funny hair? I lost them ages ago.
there
I've
was-
lost my dwarf.
so we were sitting at the very top table.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
down beside your
I think
man that were across him. You can't miss your man's hair.
Fair. I was supposed to be sitting up there, but not all about that fancy shit. I'd rather sit down with the people that are getting drunk. Right. Catch you later. And she'll kind of look at you, give you a nod, and walk up towards where you pointed to.
Can I ask your name before you go?
Oh, yeah, my name's Bone Shaker.
Bone shaker.
Fuck, that's cool.
That's very cool. Name's 9. If you get bored of talking to people, come find me later.
Yeah, it's always nice to have somebody to not talk to when I get bored of talking to people. And she'll walk off into the crowd.
I'm in. Smooth. But yeah, she's cool. Goliath.
GF.
GF. No, she's not my girl. Can't I have a gal pal? Good lord. So far, all I've got is
Boutte call.
I've got Serena, who just annoys me. I want to just have someone to talk,
You
not
mean
talk
Selenia?
to. Someone who'll sit there
Fuck
and
that
drink
creep.
with me and not fuck
In
around.
fucking silence.
You two pricks just drink and cause trouble, which is also fun.
Cuts to the two, you screaming for Dad, and me and his other guy just falling over.
So we're gonna go back to Tholme now, and he's leading this young, well, middle-aged-ish lady through the crowd, back towards where he reckons Gregor is, and they, the two of you get back to roughly where you were sitting, and you see Gregor essentially trying to intervene in a bit of a heated discussion between Fyodor and a very, very bulky, very, very large human man. It's not getting violent, but they're just getting very, very... You kind of overhear it, and they seem to be debating the optimum length of a sword. And Fyodor's saying, look, the longer it is, the better, because you can hit more people. And the other man's saying, it's like, but what if you're in a cave? If you hit the wall, you'll get stuck. And then Fyodor replies to that, it's like, well, you're clearly not swinging it hard enough if walls will stop you. It's getting to the point where they're actually like shouting at each other. It's like, you don't understand how hard to swing a sword. And the other man's just like, nobody's as strong as you apparently, and you clearly think you're too like big for your boots, blah 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 blah. And he's just kind of for a while he's just been trying to like settle these two guys down, but now he's just kind of sitting there staring off into the middle distance like, why?
Do they argue and argue and argue and then just end up kissing?
No, sadly not. they
Ship it.
Is no one gonna fuck at this party?
But you know what? As I'm gonna give me a sec. Yeah, no, they eventually. So as they continue to argue, as you get closer and closer, it's difficult to walk through this crowd, and you actually can see them for quite a long way off, considering they're very large men. But by the time you actually reach them, the two of them are now like, you're all right, slapping each other on the back. Fyodor slaps the other guy on the back. The guy kind of stumbles forward. And they're getting on, and they clink their drinks together and start to have a good time. At which point Gregor's just like, maybe it's not so bad after all, and like grabs another drink from one of the wood golems nearby.
Yeah, and I bring up what? Sorry, but before I introduce you, I'm so sorry. I never caught your name.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, how incredibly rude of me. My name is Avina Brandywood."
Oh, Avina Brandywood.
That's a fucking fantasy porn star name if I've ever heard one.
It kind of is, yeah. And who are your friends? I see you're friends with. Are you friends with this large dragonborn man?
It's like, yeah, Alpha Bassa.
Oh, Alpha Bassa will be sitting there drinking.
Sorry, wrong guy.
Alpha Bassa's sitting there drinking a glass of some sort of wine, watching the crowd, occasionally noting something in a small notebook he has.
Yeah. I'm like, if you got to know one thing about Alpha Bassa is he is a fantastic storyteller. Go on, Alpha Bassa.
He looks up and he's just like, "Thank you very much."
So Alpha Bassa, tell her the one about the gnome and the three flowers.
That's, look, to be honest, I can't really tell. When I drink, it messes with my speech patterns. Too phlegmy, you understand? Hey, we'll have to try another time. And he keeps swallowing.
Oh, that's gross.
And as you turn away from him, he just like kind of looks down and he's just like, God damn, I don't want to have to tell a story right now. I'm busy.
She's so pretty.
But yeah, Fyodor will turn to you and give you a slap on the shoulder.
Which wins you.
Take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. He's drunk, so he's getting a bit handsy. Yeah. He's just like, it's Tholme. Good to see you, Tholme. A small man with wings came to bring. He said his name was something too. He told me to give you this drink.
Oh, I sense an epithane trick.
This drink will probably make me paralyzed or something.
No, I pick up. There's an empty glass on the table next to me, and I pick it up and I pour half into Avina. Mm-hmm. Avina's like, if this is my friend Epithane, if he's asked for this one, I know it's going to be a good one. Go on, let's try it.
She'll say, it's like, wow, Epithane is also it's a very interesting name. You are a very interesting man. Will place her hand on your shoulder as she says so. Like you're currently still linked arms, but she'll bring the opposite arm over and hold on to you. So, are you going to introduce me to your friends?
It's like, this is Fyodor, and as you can see, these are my Dragonborn friends. Do you know much about the Dragonborn?
I've been to the borders of the Dragonborn lands. I've traded with a few, but I've never spoken to one at length before.
Oh, okay. I think you and Theodore would have a lot in common.
Why do you think? Why she's quite small. She kind of looks at him. She's like, why do you think that?
Well, I don't know. I imagine they both have. You both have stories, and you've both been very, very well travelled. I think.
I suppose that's probably quite true. Plus, I'm also honoured to finally meet one of the Dragonborn.
So I'm so happy that the relationships between the two kingdoms are finally looking to turn.
It's something that I've personally tried to broker before, but I'm not quite high enough ranked in the merchant guilds to be able to broker that sort of deal. However, maybe I might be able to make some links here. Thank you so much, Tholme, wasn't it?
Yes, Tholme.
Thank you so much, my dear. I will perhaps see you later.
Absolutely. As I walk around, I turn around to Theodore and give him the biggest fucking wink, like a 20 winks in a row, like
The kind of wink that says, try not to destroy her.
He'll look back and be like, Dragonborn cannot wink, but I wink back at you too. Middle bit. I
I didn't know the middle bit now had a jingle.
Yeah, it went a bit Christmassy there for a bit as well.
It is December, and I don't know. We were all just kind of sitting there in silence, like, what do we do?
It's like we've never done these before.
Little bit
Been a while.
boring shit for you. What should we talk about?
Skip to.
So we have some things to talk about, but first of all, I want to introduce, because I don't know if any of you three do this.
Fuck you! Look at that.
I'm just looking into the middle distance.
Oh, right. We all followed the
I was just kind of looking at
Is
the
it because
wall.
what you're about to say is so shameful that you don't want to make eye contact with any of us?
So have any of you heard of Whamageddon?
What?
So
It's in like wham.
Oh
bam.
yes, I have.
So
I have.
I've been introduced to this by the people I work with. Basically,
James, you look
Last
so dumb.
Christmas, I Gave You My Heart is a song by Wham.
Some people have already skipped this.
Yeah, so some people have already skipped this. So, and basically, if you hear it, you lose Whamageddon, and you have to post on social media you lost Whamageddon.
I lost the game.
You can't. Oh, I lost the game. Wham. But yeah, basically, if you lose Whamageddon, you have to. If you hear the song Last Christmas, you lose Whamageddon. You only lose it if it's a natural hearing. So as far as I'm concerned, if you can't send each other links to it,
You can't rickroll.
yeah, you can't rickroll with it, and also. It's basically the second you realise you have heard Wham Last Christmas, you lose Whamageddon. You have to post on Facebook you've lost Whamageddon. It's a bit like the game, but at Christmas time, and it's for Last Christmas. So everybody that has heard this is now playing. And if you lose Whamageddon, send us a message on Facebook or something like that, because I want to know.
I heard about this on
So you really
BBC
get your
Radio,
messages.
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
ridiculous just before they played it.
I heard about it at work.
They played it. Here you go, you fuckers.
I heard about it because we got the Christmas music has started playing at my job, and it sucks because there's some awful songs on there. But we were just like, at least there's no Wham, so we can't lose Wham again.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Last Christmas isn't a bad Christmas
No, it's a good
though.
song, but it's
not
just
bad.
because it's played a lot. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
poured
we have-
beer
we-
all over myself during that segment.
I wasn't going to acknowledge it, but
I've had
yeah.
a full conversation recently, like Mariah Carey.
You had a
right,
full
can you
conversation?
Name, I know, right? It's great. I'm
You had a full
Finally made it to the end without
you had a conversation with Mariah Carey.
No, we had a full conversation with a bunch of people
yeah.
about Mariah Carey. We all going, actually can't think of any other songs that she's done except, but you know her name. Like, you know who she
Yeah.
is.
She did
But
all I
all you can
want for
think of
Christmas
is All I
is
Want for
you.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But can you think of any other song that she's done?
So I'm not.
You're asking the wrong person.
So one thing I saw
Elvis.
today is so Mariah Carey says she doesn't want a lot for Christmas, and then she says that she wants you. So that's just a bit of a good insult, really.
Yeah.
I don't want a lot
Yeah.
for Christmas. I just want you. You'll do.
But she might
You're
want a lot
fine.
for Christmas if that one person is fat.
That's a good
She's
point.
been getting
You guys have seen
the
the
Walkers advert.
no.
She's been getting a lot of stick for doing that.
What
Like,
happened?
She's now like the Walkers advert person. You know,
Is
the
she?
crisps.
Fuck
So
off.
Gary
Gary
Lineker.
Lineker for
I
life.
know.
Ride or die for Gary Lineker.
I met him once. He was a nice
Brand
bloke.
Loyalty.
Are they still doing them?
Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
I met Gary Lineker at school, and I don't like football, so I didn't know him from that. But I just kind of went,
You're the
do you want some crisps? And he was just like, good one. That's yeah, I do want some crisps. And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't have any.
Yeah.
Do you want some
But
crisps? Not the 50th time a kid said that to me today.
Yeah, there was a meme that went around ages ago about Mariah Carey. For some things, she never actually walks on stage.
Oh my God,
So if she's taken from the dressing room to her stage, she is always like brought there, but either on. So there's
That's
one,
not true.
I've seen one
Is
on
that true?
on a
Pictures.
like a wheelie chair, like as in like a
wheelchair.
So a wheelchair. One of them was a wheelchair. Another one was just like a desk chair.
Had she ever been brought on,
What a fucking diva.
strapped to one of those fucking like the thing you use to move crates?
Yeah, one of the like.
Like the way they move Hannibal Lecter around. And they just take the mask off.
Is she
when
brought onto
starts
stage
singing.
like this, or is it just?
Do they keep the mask on her? Because otherwise she'll just constantly sing "All I Want for
It's
Christmas."
like
Is You
the second you take it off, it's
constantly.
like, and put it back on.
Don't wanna let fuck.
No, we genuinely can't. Apparently, she's very like litigious.
Oh yes, and also
Which doesn't surprise me.
no, it's Universal because Universal owned that song.
Oh yeah.
But also, apparently, not apparently, I edited it. In this, I'm pretty sure this episode that the guys are listening to, I think they may have already listened to a bit where we suddenly and randomly break into song.
Good.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Good shit.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to see this gif.
What?
That's
What the
not
fuck,
real.
Mariah Carey?
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck. Isn't that Beyonce?
Nice one, James.
I don't know any music peoples.
I don't know if that's.
There's another
It
fucking
bad,
one. There
innit?
you go. That's her. There we
That's
go.
appalling.
What a. Oh my god.
Can we just clarify first? There's not something. She's fine, right?
This is, by the way, this is really.
I don't want to accidentally
This is
insult
really,
somebody that's
really
got a
good
genuine
quality
problem.
audio content, guys.
She's just lazy, right?
Yeah, this. You know what? I love Let's Try Roleplay as a podcast, but for once they just kind of insulted gifs of Mariah Carey that you couldn't see.
That's a good point, actually. Audio medium. Well, describing it, it's her in a chair.
It's her in a chair
yeah.
being wheeled along. She's a bit of a diva.
She's got sunglasses and probably ruler
What
at
what
25
what
degrees.
shiny change have you made recently?
Oh, you just threw that one.
Yep,
mate.
you've done it to me before.
I
I know mine. Maybe I forgot it.
I know mine. I recently watched The Phantom Menace, Star
Great
Wars
movie.
Episode 1.
It's the best one.
And my tiny change is that I'm giving George Lucas another chance.
All right.
What?
It's quite a big change,
That's
really.
my tiny change. It's actually not that tiny change because I'm going to watch Episode 2 soon. And that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Which one's alright though?
Episode 1 is good.
What's your
It's
tiny
good.
change, Connor?
I recently buckled and bought myself Pro Tools.
Ah.
Full Pro Tools. It's something that I've been talking about for about 10 years. Well, not 10 years, since I was in 6th year of school. So when is that?
Our
About-
tiny changes are usually very selfish, aren't they, really?
Yeah, I know, but I like to
No, he's
occasionally
stimulating the economy.
I like to occasionally do one
Pro
that's
Tools
like,
a UK-based company.
Oh, they're not.
International company.
They're
economy, innit?
American titans.
Oh well, if there's one thing that always needs to be done, it's furthering capitalism in America.
But you know, tiny changes don't always need to be about other people. Sometimes it's doing something for yourself for a change. Being like,
Exactly.
do you know what? I've worked hard. I'm gonna
Like a posh wank.
posh wank.
I've not heard anyone
Lord.
talk about a posh wank. It's that is horrific. Why? Why did you bring that up?
I don't know, it just came in my mind when you said
What?
Just
Sometimes you
came
gotta
in your
do
mind.
Oh, no, damn it!
Good one.
But yeah, no, okay, let's move on quickly.
Disgusting.
Robin, your tiny change.
What
Tiny
tiny change?
Oh, okay. It's not really tiny change, but it's like it did definitely help someone. So my mum saw a cat get run over
Jesus Christ.
today, and I spent a good while on the phone to her, like talking to her about it and making sure she was okay. Because it actually really upset her. And
Yeah.
She and
She
the wee cat I think it died unfortunately, but she phoned like the family. Because I had a wee collar with like a phone number on it, so she phoned the family and like they came out and they all were really upset, and she was like with them. She got really upset, so I talked to her and calmed her down.
The way you
and-
described it to me was that she said the Kai's fucking eyes were bulging out.
What kind of run over was it? Was it like full on over clean, or was it bounced off into the hedges sort of shit?
It was still alive. And she
Oh,
came
that's
to,
good.
but it was
Poor
like
cat.
it was It was dead. It was gonna die. It was like its eye was sort of like bulging out. It clearly had been hit, and it was like just struggling to breathe and stuff.
All cats go to heaven. It's all right.
This is.
It's up in heaven.
You put me on the spot, and that's the first.
This is a weird mid-bit.
It's in cat heaven.
It's the most.
Otherwise known as mouse hell.
I mean, I've held the door for people.
Christmas cats and posh wanks. Welcome to Let's Try Roleplay.
Oh my god. What about yours?
Helped. I was at a doctor's appointment, hospital appointment technically, and helped an old lady carry a pram up some stairs because the lift was broken.
Oh wow! Did you carry the baby in there as well?
Yeah, baby in the pram.
Oh, he put the baby on the floor. But only the pram.
It was quite. It was quite funny because she was like on the back side of it with like the handles, and I'm on the front. So I'm helping this lady carry a pram up like 3 sets of stairs.
Yeah.
For Americans, a pram's a pushchair. And there's just this baby looking at me like, I don't know you. I'm like, I don't know you either, child.
Isn't it the other way around? Aren't we pushchairs?
No, we're prams.
I've always called it pushchair.
You're fucking weird.
Fuck off.
I'm from Wolverhampton though.
Oh yeah, Wolverhampton is
You
the
can
Ameri-
hardly say fuck off. Your people, Connor. Your people call them housecoats.
No,
Wait, you call it a house coat?
I don't. I've been a strong advocate against calling it a house coat.
Admittedly, you guys do call like
wait, we should
Coke
clarify
juice.
that. It's a dressing gland.
It's a dressing gown.
A dressing gland.
It's a dressing gown.
God, like you secrete clothes.
No, well, yeah, we call it juice. Anything that's not beer is juice, apart from milk.
Apart from juice, which is diluting juice.
Yeah.
No, squash.
Squash.
Fucking
juice.
weird.
Well, although in Let's Try Roleplay we tend to call juice fizz.
Do we?
Fizz,
Well,
yes, no. Well,
me and Robin
does.
do anyway.
Well, Robin
That's-
also called Strongbro Dark Fruits fizz earlier as well.
Did I actually? I didn't even know this.
Everything is
And then
fizz.
stood and had the most tween moment of her life while she debated for a good 5 minutes whether she wanted WKD or not.
You always want
I was
WKD.
really thirsty. I looked at it and I was like, "That's so sugary. That would be so nice."
Because that's what they say.
I'm not
in the
gonna lie,
Sahara
Talk me
Desert.
out of it.
The Sahara
WKD does
Desert,
not
they're always
work.
like, I'm just so thirsty. If only I had a WKD. Or a Venom. Fuck, yeah. What a way to go out.
I know. Should we talk about something that's
Just should we talk about
remotely-
anything?
Oh, so those were tiny changes.
They were.
We're gonna glance over that for a minute.
Yeah, it's good. Done.
So tiny changes. Make sure that you're doing a wee tiny change for yourself or for someone else each week, each month, whatever. Just do little things. By doing little things, then you can change the world. And that you don't need to like cure cancer or anything. Just this accumulation of
If you
little
can,
things.
go for it.
No, seriously, don't hold back on that one. No. Like, don't not do that.
Someone in a lab with like a bunch of lab equipment and like test tubes around them, about to cure cancer, listening to our podcast. We say that and they're like, fair enough, I
Do you know
won't.
what?
Loser lad, leading cancer
That mum
researchers-
with that pram.
Leading cancer research says he's given up hunt for the cure because Let's Try Roleplay said it was okay.
That's actually not bad publicity. All
It's really bad publicity.
No, but it's like
Any publicity is good publicity.
any publicity is good publicity. If Trump's taught me anything,
No.
Like, lead scientist gives up cure for cancer to go and buy himself Pro Tools.
starts a podcast like all white men.
Who think they're funny?
But Tiny Changes is a Scotland-based mental health charity.
I forgot that it's an actual charity.
Yeah, you should go and give some money. If you're not going to give money, just remember that fact. If you don't need to change the world, a little tiny change every now and then is what's going to make this world a better place.
Yeah.
What like real things do we have to talk about in this mid bit? Because it's been going on for far too
No,
long.
we're not.
Fuck
No,
all.
we can't talk real things. We got far too real last time. Last time being
I've
Connor did a
heard-
mid-bit together.
Oh, so season 2 of D&D's happening.
That's happening.
And tell you what, I did a thing today.
Do the Roy.
I listened
I
to our
can't think
podcast.
of anything but posh wank now.
Yeah.
I have never done that before. Our podcast is good.
You've never.
Oh,
had
you
it?
listen to our podcast?
I listened to an episode,
What episode?
the first
Right,
episode
I
of season
thought-
2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, this is actually funny. I've never listened to any of it because I'm like, what if it's not?
I put a lot of work in to make it fun.
Yeah.
So I had to edit a lot.
Yeah. But like, I was listening to it and
A
I'm
lot
like,
of it comes out.
I was listening to it and I'm like, this is actually funny.
So in the
I
moment,
like this.
With that context, it sounded like you said, "I finally had a posh wank." That's what my what I heard.
I'm hoping someone else out there got that because I said that.
You seemed so proud of yourself, and I was like,
No.
Eyes darting around.
It's alright.
Yeah, I was just like, I was listening to it, and I'm like, I had some proper laughs there. This is funny.
It's good stuff.
I also found it real funny because the beginning of season 2, you're like, oh, we'll do a quick introduction of our characters, and 15 minutes later, you finish introducing your character.
That's always the way, though.
Yeah,
That's always the way.
And then it was like 9
This
was
is
just
the way.
like, I'm a paladin.
And we've
Purple.
also said that this is a really good point for people to jump on.
Yeah,
season, which it is.
yeah.
D&D season
Yeah,
2
it
is
is.
really good. Well, the Great Capital Bake Off, excuse me, is a really good point. That's awful. It's a really good point to jump on. So if you have friends who haven't listened to us yet, like D&D season 2 is a good point to jump on.
Yeah.
But we also said it right at the beginning, going, what are you doing here if you haven't listened to the crossover campaign and everything else we've done? And I'm pretty sure my character introduction was, fuck you, listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, apologies.
If you're at this point, good on you. Come on.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Make your tiny change recommending our podcast to someone.
Yeah,
Because I tell you
recommend
what,
somebody. Give them it back
if you
as
do
a
that-
Christmas present.
Like, if you look, you may think it's a tiny change. It makes a big change to our lives because, like, every viewer, we're like, fuck yes.
Yeah. Anything else to talk about?
Not much.
Not really.
I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order on the computer.
Heard it's good.
On stream on Twitch. I played one episode just earlier today, so a couple of days ago for you guys. It's really fucking good. I made the mistake of falling in love with a character who was immediately killed, which is a mistake I normally see coming and don't do, but I fell deep. So I'm genuinely not over it yet.
No.
But it's so good. It's so obviously, like, I love Clone Wars and Rebels, and it's so influenced by both of them,
All right.
as well as just like general Star Wars. And it's really 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 good. Really
I mean,
good.
I know nothing about it. I've seen stuff and I've tried to avoid spoilers for it
I mean,
and stuff.
I've
But
avoided pretty much every spoiler,
apart from the biggest one.
apart from one. But there was because it was a picture. But I'm pretty much certain that I'm okay because I hear that there's a lot of big things that happen in it, and I'm pretty happy that I only know one of them.
You need to avoid adverts as well.
See, the reason I got that spoiler because it was in a fucking advert for
So
the game.
Right, so avoid adverts for it. Good.
Yeah.
Don't watch any adverts for this game. It's
Don't watch
appalling, appalling marketing technique.
Right,
It's
okay.
crap.
Cool.
It's like if they. I'm trying to think of what. It's like the trailer for episode 5. I am your father. Like that was a really old man, no mask Vader. I don't know what I did there, but yeah, what the fuck? So that's because I saw it in it. I saw this one thing in it, and I was just like, bollocks.
Yeah.
And then but oh well.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what the context of it is. I only know one
Right.
thing. But so when it hits me, I'm not going to know what the fuck's
Fair.
going on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You split up the conversation.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm now going to talk, and now you're like, what was I going to say?
I can't remember.
Basically,
I had a thing.
avoid trailers for Jedi Fallen Order if you don't want spoilers. But if you do want spoilers, go to Let's Try Roleplay on Twitch and watch my playthrough.
That's what I was gonna do. So if you want, I was gonna say that basically, and then I was gonna, and then I was gonna transition into Somi's.
Somi,
Yeah,
what
I was gonna be
else
like,
have we
so go listen to us or go watch us on
Twitch,
Twitch, and then
YouTube.
we've also got a YouTube, which all that stuff's uploaded to.
Yeah.
We've got Twitter, which we're at Let's Try Roleplay. We've got Instagram, we're at Let's Try Roleplay. We've got Facebook, we're facebook.com, I think, / Let's Try Roleplay with no stuff on
Yeah.
it. Send us a message on there. Send us stuff on the other two.
you
We're
Twitter?
Let's Try Roleplay at gmail.com. If you want to send us an
send us.
email, once upon a time we used to get things like pics of dogs and stuff.
Send us if you lose Whamageddon.
Yeah, send us if you lose Whamageddon. It's an important thing to know. Robin's
Block
giving
you.
us
We'll block you from our subscribers.
Yeah.
This is our way of.
We're doing a cull.
Just to
Everyone
clarify.
that hears Wham.
If somebody tells you they lost Whamageddon, do you lose Whamageddon?
No.
Okay.
It's just an important thing to know that people
Okay,
lost
so it's
Wham.
not
You
like
actually
the
need
game.
to hear
Yeah,
the
it's
song.
not like the game. You actually need to
hear
hear
the song.
Last Christmas.
Shout.
Yeah. Which, look, it's a good song, but
We will tweet every single time we lose Whamageddon.
yeah, we will.
Time any one of us loses it, we will tweet.
We will.
Hashtag
But,
Whamageddon.
yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we have. We're obviously they were on Podbean. Go find us on Podbean.
Yeah.
We have a website.
Where are
You
you?
can Google Let's Try Roleplay. We're there.
Yeah.
Redbubble.
Rebubble.
We had a sale earlier on this week on the
Did we?
Yeah.
What did we sell?
We had a sale.
What did we sell?
I don't know.
A sale?
Someone's bought something.
A boat.
No.
Someone bought
Frankie bought.
A seal.
No,
A
someone has
sailboat.
bought something.
We should sell
Seals.
some boats.
We should-
This has been a fucking weird middle bit.
Hell,
It really
good.
has.
Hella good.
It's been really strange.
Do you know what it's gonna be? I bet it's your girlfriend buying you something for Christmas.
It could be. Actually, I probably shouldn't look.
Can I look? I'll look.
It's right there. I could just click on it.
Click on it and show me, because I
Well,
want
yeah.
to know.
Frankie
Okay.
bed colours. Frankie bed covers.
What is it? I actually can't see from here. What?
Huh.
I can't see. 'cause
All right.
Is it likely to be for me?
No.
No.
What
It's
is it?
small.
It's a t-shirt and a small.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not. Ooh. Somebody bought. Wait, is it a Frankie t-shirt?
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't know what it is.
It's
I
a
don't-
t-shirt.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Right, should we let these guys go back to the episode?
Yeah,
For fuck's sake.
I don't know what's happened. Look, it's been a while since we've all
Holy
done
shit!
one.
No, it's of the Great Capital Bake Off. Somebody bought a small charcoal heather. If you bought that t-shirt,
Send us a
fucking
pic.
love you.
Yeah, send us a pic of you wearing it. That'd be
Hell
cool.
to the shit, yes.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's our Great Capital Bake Off, our artwork for
Yeah.
Great Capital Bake Off, but on a t-shirt.
James, James's magnum opus.
My magnum opus.
Oh, I haven't been on the. I don't think I've been on a middle bit since it started coming out. That's really good artwork, by the way. It's real good.
Right, should we let these guys go?
No.
Yes.
But we're now gonna let them go.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Some time passes in the party, and you'll have a lot of fun, and things don't wind down. But people start to get to the point of being quite merry. At which point
Is there a brawl at any point?
there's not. Luckily, everyone's on their best behaviour. But
If something happens, the Emperor just looks at me and just like disintegrates.
but the various wine glasses and various different foodstuffs, and as people began to get up and walk around, nibbles appeared on the table rather than full plates. But even they start to just disappear, and it's not so much that you see people carrying them away. It's just you look at one point, you look away, look back, and there's less plates, and spaces on the tables begin to become cleared out, particularly in the middle. And after an hour or so of chatting around, the lights in the room, specifically from the ceiling, begin to change. And from seemingly nowhere, from one end of the table, a large number of people begin to walk down along the centre, all of them carrying different musical instruments.
Yes.
And at this point, a number of people begin to stop, and it's like, finally the entertainment is here. The very drunk elf will turn to Ibathane and be like, they learned everything they know from me. Particularly that one.
I know what you mean. What the fuck? I can't wink.
How do you get across sneaky messages if you can't wink? How do you let a certain little lady know that you're into her?
Thelmy speaks in my mind.
We all have a bit of a Thelmy in our minds. I, for one, channel my inner Thelmy. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's a Dragonborn thing. Channel mine into being the greatest stand-up comedian as we are now. The only stand-up comedian in the world. All those other chumps sit down. But I've decided, because of you, to do mine standing.
You should do that.
You should get a stand-up ovation.
Oi! He'll turn to the musical. He'll turn to the musicians and be like, do you know who I am? And he'll kind of look down. He's just like, he's like, exactly.
You don't know who he
You're
is.
struck by my presence and can't even speak. Onwards, play a tune.
No, you go onwards. C minor. C minor.
Onwards, play in C minor.
Minor, major, minor, both. You minor, you major, same tune.
Only true musicians can do that.
Play it in a capital G.
That's a new kind of music.
I,
Capital music.
I invented music.
I'm going to open a new musician bar and I'm going to call it Capital FM. This might be one of my favorite NPCs I've ever done because it's just me being like, I'm going to say stupid shit in a slightly Johnny Depp Captain Jack Sparrow voice. But as he says this, the musicians begin to play a jaunty tune. All of them, there's like hundreds because they're taking up the entire place, but somehow all of them are in time with each other, and they seem to be extremely well trained. And as this happens, a couple people begin to dance, begin to jig. If you've ever been to, for the listeners, like if you've ever been to like a ceilidh, like a Scottish ceilidh, if not, look it up. But people begin to do sort of like ceilidh dances.
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay. Do I dance with the guy?
Yeah, he's bad.
So am I.
Yeah.
Dance with his
roll
his
roll
two left
performance.
feet and you're two right.
Like, what? Do I have disadvantage for the alcohol?
No. Wait, highs or lows?
Oh, lows.
You have advantage because of the alcohol.
Shit!
Same twice.
Ooh!
No, two different ones. 11 and then 17. And then it's a 21.
He got a 25, so you two are fucking owning this shit.
Look at us, we're dancing!
It gets to the point where everyone else is kind of like, what's it called? Where you like link arms and go round in a circle? Like where you run forward, link arms, like spin around each other. There's like a specific word for it.
Loopity-loop.
Yeah, everyone else is kind of like loopity looping, doing duet dancing, and you two kind of look at that, and he looks up at you, Bethany. He's just like, "You're a big man.
Carry me.
Pick me up and spin me."
Is it like the end of Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, it is a bit. No, it starts off with the two of you just kind of doing some normal dancing around each other, doing like some interesting dance moves. He kind of adds in some flourishes that you copy, and then it gets to the point where you two are spinning around, and he slowly lifts his legs up and points them, and it's kind of like if you've ever watched Strictly Come Dancing when they do like the early lifts, and it's like you're just kind of holding him just off the ground while he points his toes and like pretends to run in the air, but then he jumps off away from you and like pirouettes away, turns back around. You prepare to catch him. He runs forward, jumps through the air. You catch him and pick him up in the air like Dirty Dancing. Spin him round.
I want to mix some prestidigitation into this shit.
All right, yeah, you do that, and as you lift him up into the air, sparks shower down on you
Out of his pants.
from seemingly nowhere, and a couple people start to look at you and start like clapping to you, like to get you going. Can the other two of you make perception checks?
Oh god,
Two.
I've got a 3. I'm consumed at the bar. Like,
I got a 22.
All right, Tholme, at this point you're up on one of the chairs dancing, and you look over and you see my Ibethane's dancing with another man. And you can you give me an acrobatics check?
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Okay, what am I doing? Oh god, yeah, 19. I've got +9 for acrobatics.
Right, you leap from chair to chair, leap from shoulder to table, leap across people towards where Ibethane is putting it on a show.
Head.
And as Ibethane lifts up the man that lifts this elven man up above his head, and the showers spark down, so do you know what a gainer is? It's like a backflip while running forward, so you backflip but don't go backwards. You gainer over the aisle. Directly above, being perfectly upside down as these sparks like begin to fly down, and the crowd goes fucking ballistic.
And I kick him in the face and say, "Fuck off from my everything!"
you knock this drunken elf out of the way, and you just get and he'll like pick himself back up, and he's like, "It's a good job I'm so flexible, because otherwise that would have hurt." Ow. And he'll kind of limp off. And now you're holding Tholme above your head where there was not previously a Tholme.
Tholme. And I kiss him.
The crowd goes wild.
And Tholme just sits there like, it's like, oh dude, what have you been drinking?
I have no idea. I sent Jeffrey to get food.
Oh, Jeffrey brought me some stuff.
Drinks.
Yeah, some drinks.
Food.
What was it?
It was a very, very nice beer.
It was the strongest thing they had.
It was a very strong beer.
Oh, what was it?
13%.
No, but what was it? What was it called?
Nuclear atomic penguin.
Stronger than that.
Oh, that's the strongest beer in the
Yeah,
world.
no, it's not that. Sorry, is what I meant to say.
Tell me, that man, his name was Eldras? He's alive!
Nah, I mean that's not Eldras. That guy looks. He's kind of pathetic.
No, that's a good point.
He looks like you know one of those like failed actor type looks.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to think of a failed actor, but I can't think of one. That's how bad they are.
That's why they're failed actors. But as the two of you finish this dance, you put Tholme back down, and you've been having this conversation while holding him up in the air.
While spinning.
You put him back down, and the crowds make kind of a circle around you, and the crowd gets parted, and you hear a couple of people go, "Oh," as they get pushed out of the way. And Fyodor, like very, very drunkenly, stumbles out and just like, "It's my turn to dance. I am." Gives a big hiccup and straight onto his face on the floor.
Aww.
And then starts doing the worm.
Rolls over and just like, "I may have."
Straight into the fucking worm.
Please, can he start doing the worm?
No arms.
He maybe tries. He maybe tries, but does it very badly. And he goes like, he lies over on his back and he's like, "Could somebody help me up? I seem to have lost my balance."
Is it? He goes down and it's the most fucking majestic worm, beautiful motion you've ever seen, and then we go into the real world, not his head. He's just lying very still,
Yes,
touching.
100% that. Yes,
He's like flopping like a
he
fish.
like goes down, and in his head he sees himself like going like 6 feet up in the air while midair, like winking, and because he can't wink, he's just like, "I wish I could wink." Winks and points at a beautiful dragonborn lady that's not really there. Goes back down.
He's pointing at everything.
Like comes back up, and every time he comes back up, he's in like a different position. Goes back down, like jumps back up, and he's like in like every time it's majestic. When in really what's happening is just kind of like he's lying on the ground and he's just bashing his forehead against the ground.
Oh, God.
And as this happens, Raspar will run out, and he's also relatively inebriated. That was a fancy way to say that.
Fancy.
Yeah. He's also relatively inebriated, and he runs out and he picks him up and he's like, "Do not worry, we are not used to your drinks. I'm going to take him upstairs. I'll be back down soon. I'm going to take him upstairs, put him to bed. We will."
And
He's
then-
had a very, very good night.
And then the woman says, "Oh no, don't worry, I'll take him."
She's nowhere to be seen at this point.
Oh, fuck, she's already dead.
But yeah,
The
and
Dragon
they
Balls
they,
get
they go
whiskey.
off into the crowd. Raspar carries Fyodor off into the crowd.
Do you know when you said he turned up? I thought he was going to be like, jump on top and go, "Catch me!"
Oh fuck.
So yeah, that happens, and Fyodor's being taken to bed.
This fucking party's picking up.
This is getting better.
And it gets better and better throughout the night. Eventually you realise that one of you probably at some point thinks, "Oh, wonder where the Emperor is," and he doesn't seem to be around, but not everyone that was sitting at the head table has disappeared. A couple of them are still sitting there, swirling drinks, having polite conversation. And you'll give me a perception check.
Is the Emperor on the ceiling spinning around like a disco ball? Magical fucking rays coming from his dome.
That's reminding me of one of my favourite memes. Every time I see it, it fucking kills me. And it's one of Jesus in a crowd, and he's just like, "I came not here to be served," is the top bit, and it's him talking to a crowd. And at the bottom it says, "but to serve," and it's Jesus doing a break dance. And it just reminds me of that, and it's just like the Emperor in like full golden regalia coming out, just like, "My servants, for once I shall serve you," and just breaks out on this fucking mad dance.
I might be your god, but I am the lord of the dance.
I got a 16.
All right.
Got a 5.
One.
Still at the bar.
The
Fucking one.
so 9's still at the bar, getting quite pished.
I'm just looking deeply into Tholme's
Those
eyes.
gallons- Specials,
Ibathane's probably, because you're still finding things funny, so you're still probably just like laughing to yourself.
Look at this
About-
one painting of like shit all. Be like,
And Tholme has this thought of like, the Emperor's gone. And then you look up towards the head table, because you're actually relatively close to it at this point. And you look up and you're like, a lot of people are up there. And you kind of scan along and you recognize somebody. It's an old lady.
oh, fuck off!
Yes!
Sitting there,
Oh, shit.
talking to 2 or 3 people who are enraptured in her conversation. And you listen in. 'Cause
Enraptured or
You look at her
trapped?
drink and there's a small thing floating in her drink.
Yeah, you do. She swirls this silvery blue drink, and you notice a small, well, it's actually quite a large toe swirling around in it as she gives a lecture to these very, very, very interested, relatively young, trapped in this conversation people about
even when it's not an actual potion, I specifically cure my giant toe, so if I put it in there, it becomes a potion. You must learn from me. If you want to get far in this world, you must use your potions.
and she's actually quite drunk as well. So like she's just like,
And these fucks,
and she points over towards you.
they're fucking great. But especially, no, she's not. I don't know where. She's the one with horns.
7.
Number, I think if I'm number 7, that's from another thing. 9, 11, 9. She's a number. Not out of 10.
But under 10.
Listen to what I say, but the other dude just fuck off. I shouldn't swear. Is the Emperor here? No, he's fucking gone.
Fucking.
I had a bone to pick with him.
He's,
I had a fling once, you know.
I knew him as a boy. That's why I'm up here. I helped give
Him.
birth to him.
Sex.
You have give birth.
His mother was in much pain, and I gave her a potion of not feeling pain.
Just she starts explaining a drinking game where she just goes, and if you do this, you have to drink 1 finger.
Yes.
Get it?
She does. She's just like,
There's a finger in it.
Although I must say, the Dragonborn, the Dragonborn boy over there, he's taught me a very great drink called Ring of Fireball, and if you draw a card, you must drink 1 finger. Get it? Because it's got a finger in it.
I don't know.
I do love a good party. Anyway, I'm gonna go dance. Fuck off.
I don't know that she's here, but again, I get a visible shiver.
Tholme just sees this conversation. He's still far away, but it's the kind of thing where it's just like he sees it and just tunnel vision.
Yeah,
just everything gets closer, and he's just like, she's here.
She's here. Oh shit, she's coming this way.
She's not. She goes up onto the table and starts doing like an old lady jig.
Fuck yes. Is she drinking only potions?
Yes.
Does she drink a dance?
Every time
potion?
she gets brought a drink, she reaches deep into a pouch by her side and pulls out a different thing of some sort. Sometimes it's a giant toe, sometimes it's like some sort of twig. Drops it in and immediately changes the color of whatever she's drinking.
Ooh.
And she's just like,
What am I going to get this time? Ooh, it's haste. Gonna get jiggy with it.
Does she at any point there's like a homunculus bring her a drink? She's going, have a tip, and she smashes a potion on its face and it turns into a horse.
So wait, did she have like an Order of the Gauntlet thing on her or anything? What's she?
No, I just wanted her to be here. Because earlier you were like, I bet she's in the fucking city. And in like an earlier episode, or it might have actually been out of the game, you were just like, I bet she's here. And I'm like, she is. And for some fucked up reason, she's going to be a guest of honor.
Oh my god. Fucking, she's coming our way.
She's not. She's just dancing a
Oh, she's
jig.
dancing on the table. That's fine.
Quite sprightly for however fucking old she is.
912.
I like to think that she's literally the only person that can tell the Emperor what to do. Like she helped raise him or something.
I think
Yes,
it's canon.
auntie.
I think it's canon now that she was like the midwife or some shit. Like,
Oh, Julius, no, stop this.
but yeah, this party,
Anti-potion
the
seller.
party goes on and on and on into the wee hours of the night. And almost on into the morning, and it gets to the point where it begins to die down. You've all had a fantastic night.
The lights come on.
Yeah, the lights come on. They play Old Lang Syne.
They've played Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, they played all the good tunes.
Felvis prestidigitationally is.
Mhm. He did a quick gig. Basically got forced to by people just kind of throwing him up onto one of the stages.
Do they play Loch Lomond? And I'll guess the high roll and you guess the low roll. That's a niche joke.
That's a very niche joke, but good. And yeah, it gets to the point where you feel like you should probably head back.
Yeah, no. If the lights are on and the bouncers are already sweeping up the plastic
Yeah, they are.
cups, then
There's a bunch of homunculi going around sweeping up the plastic cups with tiny brooms.
Does the party end with the three of us together?
Yeah, it will.
Cool.
Like, Alan, you've been great. I've got to go to bed. Bye, and I just pass out on the bar.
and I come over. I'm like 9, chips and cheese.
If you say that, one of the homunculus will bring you over some chips and cheese.
I want to go to a tacky kebab shop though.
One of the homunculus sets up. No, I'm kidding.
A rotisserie.
It sets up a rotisserie. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll take my chips and cheese off the
I
homunculi.
want that as well.
Brings one for you.
Fucking brilliant.
Passed out, mate.
I put 9 over my one shoulder, chips and cheese in the other hand, just sort of like munching on it, and then just walk back up to the tower.
You guys are still quite up close to the top table, so it's like a good 5-minute walk at the speed you're going, and halfway along, you see a passed out man. His back, like his back is over. It's like he's been baned over a chair.
Yes.
And as you walk past, he sits up. He's like, "Best stand-up comedian." Me, and collapses back onto the chair.
I was like, do you know who that is? I have no idea.
And you continue on back up through. You remember the way. Perhaps some of the guards that are stationed most of everywhere will give you directions if you get a bit lost. And the three of you head back up, ready for bed, to your rooms. Get back, probably get into your nice fluffy robes. Probably just like put it over 9 when she's in bed.
Put the slippers
The
on.
hopping
Take a
fluffers
picture
are
of
on,
it because she's
and-
never gonna wear
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
properly.
Tholme and everything really want to do that thing like after the night's over and everything where we just sit and have really drunk chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep talk.
Oh, do we have a balcony?
No, but you do have the common room.
Yeah, the common room. And what?
Do we have cigars?
You can.
Fuck yes.
Yes. Me, Ebethane and Gary sit and we have a cigar.
tiny cigar for Gary.
In our fucking... In the robes of fluff, but with still that big white fluffy neck thing from the clothes.
yes, 100% yes. Still the big ruffles. And the two of you sit there until maybe even to the sunrise.
Oh, we watched the sunrise.
Yeah, you can go out onto a balcony at one point and watch the sunrise. Sunrise will be about 6 a.m. And the two of you basically been in the room for most of the night, and you walk out. You go find a balcony. Perhaps a guard will tell you, and you watch the sunrise over the water, and it's a beautiful sight. The sun rays itself coming through the dome that surrounds the city creates almost like an aurora borealis effect that makes it even more beautiful. Nice. With that, the two of you get up. The sun is well and truly up on the rise. You can probably see down by the docks outside of the cities, people trying to set up their market stalls. And the two of you head back towards your rooms. And as you do so, you walk through the castle, and the castle seems to be coming back to life. Guard shifts change while you're there, and you head back into the room, and it's exactly as you left it. And you head to bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I want to get my health back.
Cool. So yeah, the two of you head to bed.
Health at that party?
I still haven't.
He's still not 100%. So yeah, the two of you go to bed, and you all get a long rest. So all back at full for everything.
Do we need to do a hangover roll?
No. Yes, but no. Yeah, go for it. I'll have you doing that in a sec. So it's about mid-afternoon when the three of you arise. whatever order you get up in, you'll shuffle fairly. Well, actually, roll Constitution to see how hungover you are.
Saving throw.
Ooh, bad. Ooh, bad.
Oh fuck.
Guys, it's not good.
7.
13. What was yours, sorry?
7.
The 3. Wait.
3.
Right. So Ibathane's not doing terrible. He's bigger, so it's more diluted. The other 2 of you are pretty badly hungover.
Yeah.
9 got a 3, yeah?
7.
7. And Tholme got a 3.
Yeah.
Tholme's bad. Tholme comes out and he looks like he's just been resurrected again. And 9 comes out and you slept for longer, so you're not doing as bad as well.
But I'm wearing both the robe and the slippers.
You are, yeah.
So it's not good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing well.
Do you see that woman come out of Theodore's room and run off down the corridor? Or limp off down the corridor?
The 2 of you do actually come out. The 3 of you all come out and you actually find Raspar and Alphabasa sitting, nursing somewhat of a hangover. Alphabasa's probably nursing some hair of the dog, probably as a whiskey, whilst Raspar's trying to drink as much water as he can. And he's just like, I wish I could enchant some armor to get rid of hangovers. But Dragonborn vodka never give hangover like this. I don't know what they put in their drinks up here, but I both love it and hate it. And Alphabasa kind of looks at him just like, my friend, I 100% agree. However, the number of fucking hilarious things I saw last night, I have so many stories to tell when we get back home. I mean, did you see? They are here. Did you see the dance of Ibathane and I think Tholme, but it might have been someone else at one point. That itself is a tale worth telling. I'm perhaps going to turn that into. Could you help into some sort of sonnet? I could write a poem about that. About that. How are the 3 of you doing this morning?
I'm pretty okay.
Good to hear it. You 2 look a little bit rough. 9, I did not expect to see you wearing the ropes. I think you said specifically you would not.
I just want to sort of sit down in the chair like it's been a new experience for all of us.
Tholme just looks up and looks like almost like a puppet's pulling his head up, and then Gary just shakes his head like.
Raspar will lay a gentle hand on your shoulder and give you a bit of a pat on the shoulder, just like, my friend, I know how you feel. I'm much the same right now.
Last night was a 9's bin incident.
That's a niche.
That's a niche joke that only us will get.
Like 6 people in the world.
Yeah. But yeah, a couple hours pass. You kind of have that hungover chat. Having some banter back and forth, taking the piss out of each other.
Snapchat stories from
watch back Snapchat stories. Specifically, Alphabasa will tell you some stories of what he saw during the night.
The Snapchat stories are just his journal.
Yeah, his journal.
That's class.
So good.
And Raspar will fix you all he'll bring you all drinks of different kinds. He'll be like, this will help. There is a lot of sugar in this. If you want yop, I will bring you yop. He opens the mystery fridge and there's a yop in there.
Yes. In real life, Connor's hangover cure
is a yop. Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
It does make zero. I can't imagine wanting to drink dairy after a hangover.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
You always get a preemptive yop, don't you? We're going on a heavy night out tonight. I've got my yop ready.
And it's by my bedside for the morning.
Yeah. And he brings it over to you, and you all have a bit of chat. And then about I did say it was mid-afternoon, so probably about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock-ish. Gregor will come in, and he looks fairly fresh-faced. Considering, he looks fairly fresh-faced, by which I mean as ugly as he ever was. The effects seem to have worn off. His hair maybe has a slight tinge of red still in it, but it's mostly returned to sort of blackish grey that it was. And he comes in, he's just like, good to see that you're all doing okay. Most of you, at least. And he'll kind of look over towards Tholme and 9. Make good use. He's just like, it's fine. I'm not the one wearing the fluffy slippers and robes, so whatever. But last night was a good night, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, Tholme looks and sort of nods, and then brings up the bag of holding and puts his head into
Oh no! Stuff's in there.
Raspar will look up and is like, I can clean that for you later. I have magic item I can use. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's so great.
That is
it. Next
horrific.
time you ask for one of those fucking glowy orbs, it's going to be dripping with something.
This is sticky.
Gregor will come and sit down with the rest of you, and it's just like, I would like to say, I wanted to say thank you. You didn't cause anywhere near as big a fuss as I thought you would, and it was a very good night. Has anybody seen Fyodor?
Oh,
Covered.
fuck.
Oh god, where is she?
Raspar will pipe up and just like, I put him back in his bed, and before joining me with the party, I assume, he was very drunk even for him, so I assume he's maybe still asleep.
Should we?
Is he in his room?
I put him in his room.
I think we should go in there and totally not assess the size of the package whilst in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorny
Get up, go into the
crawls
room.
over to the door.
Cool.
Shuffle over in my slippers.
The three of you all go over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who opens the door?
I will.
I knock and go, Leonor.
I like you knocked thinner.
You don't get a reply.
I just opened the door.
You open the door?
Yeah.
Before you see a room much like your own, with the exception of blood everywhere.
Bollocks!
Oh.
No. No!
And
What looks to be the remains of a corpse of a large golden dragonborn.
Fuck!
Lying in his bed, eviscerated.
I'm not even fucking happy about this.
Right. Immediately, hangover, gone. Run over.
you need to roll for that.
Run over and try assess the situation. Is he dead?
His organs are out of his body. Like his.
Is that bad?
The main reason you recognize him still is there's the occasional scale not covered in blood, golden scale.
Can I do an investigation check to see if I can think about like mechanism of injury type thing?
It looks like he's been shredded to pieces.
What happened to you with this resurrection
As
shit?
this happens, you hear from outside of the room a shout that you clearly recognize as Gregor, and he tells all three of you, "Get out of that room right now."
Yeah, fucking fine. Yeah, I went out.
He kind of comes over to the door and he looks and he's like, this is bad.
Oh fucking shit, Gregor.
This is really, really bad. Did any of you see anything last night?
He was my brother.
We were in a different part of the castle.
Very well. Do not touch anything in the room. Did you touch anything in the room?
I think I went over to feel if he was alive, so I touched him.
Very well. Just if you did touch anything, keep track of it.
CSI
Remember what you
won't know
touched.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get help, and he fucking sprints off. Once again, his hangover's immediately cured.
Generally does that.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah, I am fucking devastated.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
I totally saw it coming as soon as he was going away. I was like, I should probably say goodbye.
oh shit! You didn't do anything.
I know, but
No.
I thought I should go up with them, but that's something that Connor knows because Connor's seen fucking movies. But Thelmy would be like, see you in the morning.
I didn't see that coming.
Nah, that's all
I
good.
just want the listeners to know the size of the shit-eating grin I've got on my face right now.
Kind of like to go over to
You fine?
Raspar and Alfie Bass and be like, honestly, just don't go in there.
Oh,
Raspar kind of looks up and is like, those sword through. They both look very shaken, and they're kind of both sitting down, kind of staring into the middle distance, and they kind of say, "Do not worry, we will not interfere at all. We did not know him for long, but he was a good man. I'm used to death. We both are, but this is a bit unexpected. This was supposed to be a diplomatic mission, but it appears
It has gone wrong.
Fucking gnomes.
Fucking
Fucking
gnomes.
gnomes.
Did you say that?
Fucking no, probably not. I fought him as a triceratops. That's a bond that I've never had before.
I want to go get
He was
changed.
my first.
My first true love. Yeah, I want to go
He
get
was
changed
the
into my
first-
armor.
Yeah, that's a
Shit.
good
I'm
shout.
getting-
Yeah, no, I
some
did.
shits.
I go and get changed into my formal
It
wear.
makes no fucking difference what I wear. So
Fluffy robe.
Formal wear it
fluffy
is.
robe it is. He was the first Dragonborn I ever met. I'm actually. I mean, I have been drinking in real life, but I am genuinely devastated by
I can
that.
see it. I can feel the
I'm
energy in the
really-
room. Yeah.
I'm really upset. This is Theodore, right?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, he was my favourite one.
Because I've got proficiencies in like simple and martial weapons,
Mhm.
right? Can I roll to see if I can determine what kind of weapon, if he was attacked by some sort of like one of those kind of weapons?
From when you went in.
Yeah.
Roll medicine.
16?
From when you briefly touched the body, you went to go check if he was alive. So you probably, assuming normal humanoid anatomy, would check the neck for a pulse. While most of the body had various different signs of different kind of wounds, and it's difficult to tell, you could quite clearly see some sort of slit across his throat, which is why you probably went over and immediately like, oh, he's definitely dead. That would probably be made from perhaps a dagger. It's the kind of thing that maybe you've seen Tholme kill people like that before, of a definite dagger slit across
I
his
wouldn't
throat.
tell people that though.
Yeah. Has he
Might
got?
point the finger a little bit.
Did he have defensive wounds of any kind?
From the short time you were in the room, you can't tell.
Yeah, can I?
But from what you can tell, it looks like there was a struggle. There was blood seemingly everywhere. Splattered up the walls, huge pool on the floor, huge pool on the bed, everywhere.
Can I try-
But you weren't in the room for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Can I have a look around the room, as in look and see if anyone had broken in anywhere or see
Okay.
if any...
Roll investigation.
That's not good.
I've got a +8 though, 10.
You you start to search the room, specifically not going into his room. I assume. You search the common room. You perhaps search like with Raspar and Alphabas's permission. Go and check their rooms. You just maybe
I'm
say
looking,
like
looking into his room, like looking around it from the doorway.
from the door has been closed at this point. Gregor would have closed it and said, "Do not open it until I get back."
Can I open it and have a look in?
Sure. Roll stealth.
21.
Cool. Yeah, you manage to open
It
the
really
door,
doesn't
but you
matter
do
what
it.
you roll,
You do
does
it
it?
kind of slowly enough that the blood that's kind of congealed on the floor on the inside of the door doesn't get sort of any marks in it.
Yeah.
And you like kind of lean in. You kind of look around, and from other than the clear signs of some sort of struggle, well, perhaps what you would reckon there is a struggle, you can't really see much of anything. There's most surfaces are covered in some sort of blood splatter. The window to his room is closed, and from what you can see, probably locked.
Yeah. Is he on his bed?
He is on his bed, yes.
Cool.
On top of his covers. But other than that, you can't really get
Are there-
much from the
Are there any
room.
like bloody fingerprints around?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay.
Checking the rest of the common room.
You analyse that.
Checking the rest of the common room, you go around and you can't really see anything. There's a couple drinks still lying half empty. Like maybe some of the furniture has been slightly moved where people have knocked into it while drunk. And there's the signs that clearly all three of you have been lying around for, all five of you have been lying around for a while.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't really find much of anything.
Okay.
I asked go over and ask Raspar and Alphabassa. We haven't got a lot of time before help comes here. We don't know who did this and what happened.
Yes,
What
we
time
don't.
will you get us up from? Because none of us have heard a thing.
We got up. Well, I heard somebody come in at about just after sunrise. But I assume from the giggling that was these two. Other than that, I heard nothing. I got up at about midday. Raspar will pipe up and Raspar specifically will say I brought him back up at about 2 a.m. Went back down to the party, didn't get back till
maybe 4, 4:30. Went straight to bed and woke up at about 12, other than brief disturbance. Alpha Basta will say, I much got up at the same time. Raspart came to wake me up. I do not. I slept soundly from about 4:30 until just after 12.
Well, if there's anything the banquet can prove to us, is that we can, even if there was a struggle, we could have all been sitting here and we wouldn't have heard it.
Yeah.
As you're all kind of sitting there, you hear running coming up the corridor, and the first person to burst through into the common room door is Gregor. And he runs in, and it's the most emotion you've seen on his face at all, and it's pure essential panic mixed with anger and a bit of fear. And he comes in, he's just like, all of you are going to need to come with me. Obviously, we have a lot of questions, and you 5 were the only people in the room probably when this happened. Don't worry, I'll be with you the whole time. But he looks over his shoulder, and some very, very large, very, very muscular, heavily armored Gauntlet members are standing behind him. And they step through into the room and they say, Ibathane, Tholme, 9, honoured guests, we have a number of questions we would like you to